Heyo guys, and welcome back to the Magnezone. Drew here, bringing you another OU match with that fun little team I used last time. And before we start this match, a couple things. One, I did get in touch with Austin and Marcus of the channel, and they lost their emulator that they were sharing. So, we won't be seeing any battles from their perspective for a while. Probably not, at least. They may use my emulator, but we'll get to that when the time comes. And secondly, this was a really funny match, mainly just the ending of it. You'll see when we get there. Let's just go ahead and get this thing started. So, the lag stops when I play, so that's great. I don't know if you could hear, there's a little bit of lag going on with the music there. Anyway, he sends out his Ferrothorn, which he does have a Zoroark on his team, and I knew this would probably be the Zoroark, but I just played the safe Fire Punch because I didn't want to overpredict right off the bat, go for an Outrage, have him tank that, and set rocks up and stuff. I just didn't want it. So it did end up being a Zoroark. He U-turns out and goes into his Suicune, which I proceed to Fire Punch. It does next to no damage whatsoever. I figure this is probably a Crocoon, like Scald, Ice Beam, Calm Mind Rest. I get the burn, which I would rather have Toxic on it than a burn, so I don't really like that, but it's better than nothing, so I guess I'll take the Hex. I switch out here, not wanting to let him set up or hit Dragonite hard, and Fire Punch wouldn't do anything if I stayed in. Switch out to Vaporeon, max HP, max special defense, can easily take that. Like, it does less than lefties recover damage, I'm pretty sure. So here, I know that he can't do anything to me, even if he sets up, so I'm going to... Yeah, it was less than lefties, sorry. So I'm just going to set up my Acid Armor on the switch. And he switches into Ferrothorn. And here I'm wondering, is this the real Ferrothorn? Is this the Zoroark? But that would have been kind of ballsy to switch in, you know, the real Zoroark, especially if I had went for like a Toxic. Which I'm pretty sure is what he predicted there. Well, no, he was burnt, so I guess he couldn't do that. Anyway, I Scald, trying to burn him, knowing if he's burnt, I shouldn't fear the Power Whip too much, and don't get the burn, he gets the Stealth Rocks up. So, not the best ever little trade there for me, but, whatever. Here, predicting the Power Whip, or Leech Seed, or something, I don't really know. Maybe even Spikes. Basically, I just didn't want this thing to hurt Vaporeon or set up on me. I switch out to Dragonite. I don't have the multi-scale anymore, so it does a bit of damage, not too much. By the amount, though, I feel like that Ferrothorn has some attack investment. Not quite sure. Here, he predicts me to go for another Fire Punch, but I actually go for an Outrage, which is great for me. I think he was probably figuring he could send in Haxorus on a Fire Punch and set up some Dragon Dances or something, and that would have been extremely dangerous. I'm glad I predicted a switch and went for the Outrage. I obviously didn't predict specifically Haxorus. I actually thought he'd send in Suicune again. But, which is what he does now. I'm obviously going to go for another Outrage, as I'm stuck on it. You know, that's how Outrage works. Max attack, it should do some damage to this Suicune, which, if I had to guess, is probably max HP and defense. Brings it down to like -5 HP, and he's gonna die at the burn at the end of the turn, but he also takes out my Dragonite with an Ice Beam, easily. It may be max HP, max attack Dragonite, but it can't take an Ice Beam. There's no way that really any Dragonite, without the help of multi-scale and whatever the Yachi Berry or whatever it is that protects from ice moves. Anyway, I send out Jigglypuff, and this Jigglypuff can do things. I swear it can. It's done things, just the rest of the battles weren't good, so I haven't posted them. Chandelure goes for the Overheat, and after Stealth Rock's damage, it's going to leave me with, like, yeah, 12 HP. So, that's great and all, but all I really do is get a Toxic off that ends up not mattering whatsoever in the game. But at least I have a Jigglypuff as death fodder, right? Yeah. Sorry, Michael, but I don't know if you're ever gonna get to see this Jigglypuff do anything. Here he sends in his Conkeldurr. I'm not really sure why he switched out there, to be honest. Maybe predicting my Arcanine switch. I don't know. But I switch into Arcanine hoping for another Overheat or Fire move or whatever to get the Flash Fire. Doesn't work though. Here I go for the Flare Blitz. And he's going down, but he lives it. Just barely. I take a lot of recoil damage and he goes for the Stone Edge, which misses, luckily. So here, after he gets his Lefty's recovery, I'm guessing he's probably a bulk upset. I switch out, predicting him to go into his Chandelure. You know, get the Flash Fire boost. But he stays in. Jigglypuff just does Stealth Rock damage, and he goes for Payback, and I just don't understand why in that situation you would go for Payback. If I attacked again, you would definitely die. And if I switch out, you don't get the boost on Payback, and I don't think... Yeah, the only thing on my team that would even be super effective on is Alakazam, so I don't know what he was doing there. But here I go for the Wild Charge. I didn't want to go for the Fire move in case of Chandelure again, and I didn't want to lock myself into Extreme Speed in case afterward he switched into Chandelure, or even on that turn. So here he sends in Ferrothorn, and it's obviously Zoroark. Why else would you send in a Ferrothorn there? But, one, if I switched out, I'd just die to rocks anyway, so there's no point in switching out. And two, nothing really wants to take a Night Daze. Not even Vaporeon, because I don't want to risk the accuracy drop. Now here, I don't know if he predicts me to go for an Acid Armor and then Energy Ball me or something, but he switches into Chandelure, which is a dead Chandelure. I just go for the Scald, wanting to get damage off on anything. I'm really not sure what he was predicting to happen there, but either way, dead Chandelure. Good for me. And here, I believe he sends back in his Ferrothorn, and this is where things get a little tricky. Here, I don't know if it's the Ferrothorn or Zoroark. I'm pretty sure it's the Ferrothorn, but if I can burn it, I'm not afraid of it. But I don't get the burn. He Power Whips me, and I'm just like, I really hope that doesn't kill, because this thing did a bit of damage to my Dragonite with that Power Whip. And I live with 13 HP. Oh, it's crazy. I'm still faster, and I could still get a burn off on this thing, though, so I'm just gonna go for another Scald. I'm pretty sure Stealth Rock damage would kill me on the switch in anyway. But I go for the Scald, and I actually get the burn. You'll see in a second here. Which does actually turn out to matter in this match. He goes for the Bulldoze, which, thanks to the burn, will actually not kill me. Which is hilarious. I'm pretty sure he just didn't want to risk the accuracy of Power Whip. But with the speed drop, I'm just like, am I still going to outspeed this thing, or what? I mean, it's Ferrothorn. They usually actually run a minus speed nature, that way their Gyro Ball can do more damage, but I actually end up outspeeding and getting off a rest. That ends up not mattering whatsoever, though, in the long run. He's just going to go for another Power Whip, and we'll see it actually does a little under half, which makes sense considering the one before did a little under full, and now it's cut in half. So I get the Lefty's recovery, and here I'm thinking, well, you know, I can just keep resting because it's a 3-hit KO with Power Whip, so I can just, you know, PP stall him out of Power Whip, and then I'll be set, you know, set up some Acid Armors. Obviously, I'm asleep here again. He hits another Power Whip, not even gonna miss any of these things. He has a very accurate Power Whip, which makes up for his miss on Stone Edge, though. And it kills me. I'm like, the fuck? Critical hit. So, down goes Vaporeon. Here, I'm not really too worried, though. I'm just like, I'll come in with David Keller, the Diva Alakazam, and finish him off with a Hidden Power Fighting. I know what you're thinking. Hidden Power Fighting, what the fuck? He gets Focus Blast. I hate Focus Blast. It always misses for me. I don't even bother with it anymore. So, I just go for the Hidden Power Fighting, and he actually lives it, so I don't know what the EV spread on this thing is, but it's been kicking my ass. Ah. So here's where the burn actually matters. Well, to an extent matters. Actually, yes, it does entirely matter. So I was going to say he just comes in and revenge kills me anyway, but he doesn't. He hits me with a power whip, does just over half, so that would have killed if he wasn't burned. And I finish him off with another hidden power fighting. He sends in a Zoroark, and I'm just like, well, this is good game if this thing is choice scarfed, and it is not. I get off the hidden power fighting, and oh, I'm just like, yes, this thing must be like Specs or what? Lives with 1 HP. I'm just like, no, it's sashed. Kills me with the Night Days. But I'm just like, that's okay. He's at 1 HP, and I've still got a Pokemon left. A Pokemon that I'm like 100% certain he can't one-hit KO. It's my Poliwhirl, my wingman. He's there for me. And so I'm not gonna fuck around with any substitutes or anything. I'm just gonna go for the waterfall. He hits me with a Night Daze, and I'm just like, please God, don't crit, don't crit, don't crit. Yes, I'm alive. Oh God, accuracy drop. Please hit waterfall. Oh my fucking God. I miss. And then he hits with the Night Daze. And guess what, guys? It crits. Just to rub it in. So, a really funny finish. You really can't have one closer than 1 HP to a win. So, really funny finish. Black Shandera and I were laughing our asses off after that. So, really good match. Thanks, Black Shandera. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this team much at all anymore. I just wanted to at least send out Jigglypuff in a match. So, thank you guys for watching. The next match is actually going to be between me and Marcus. From my perspective, though, it's a little bit of a goofy match. I'm using Shelder, but you guys will see when we get there. So, hope you guys are enjoying these, and thanks for watching. Ciao.